Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time of stopping by. Hi, nice meeting you for the first time. Please consider subscribing to this channel. And to my old subscribers, I say thank you very much for all your support so far, and don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you find value in this video and share to family and friends. So the first thing I did is to mark a starting point, and then from there I went down by 12 inches for my half length. Once I am done with that, I'm going to go ahead and mark half of my shoulder measurement. That's my shoulder measurement divided by 2, and then I went down by 7 inches for my shoulder, for my bust point, sorry. And this style is for a 7-year-old. And then from there I'll go ahead and mark 1 inch for my shoulder slope, and I'll connect it to my starting point. Now I'll go ahead and insert quarter of my bust measurement. That's my bust measurement divided by 4, and I have 6.75, so I'll make a point there. And since my bust measurement and my waist measurement is the same thing, I will just extend the line straight to meet our bust point, to meet our waistline, and I'll go ahead and connect my armhole curve. For my neckline, I'm going in by 2.5 inches. You don't want your neckline to be so wide while making this style. And then from that armhole, I am coming in by 1.5 inches. I marked 2 inches at first, but I reduced it to 1.5 inches. And then for the shoulder, for the neck depth, I marked at 4 inches. If you want it to be lower than this, please go ahead and increase the measurement. But for me, I don't want it to be too open. That's why I am marking at 4 inches. So remember I said I reduced the measurement by 1.5 inches. That's what I remarked here. So I'm going to go ahead and connect these 2 points. And this is for our front bodies. Front bodies is what we are trying to cut out. So I'll go ahead and cut out this, and we'll proceed to other side of it. If you haven't subscribed to this moment, please don't make it minute to hit on the subscribe button to remind you again. So I'll go ahead and transfer this to another paper, and you can see I added my zipper allowance. And for the neckline, I am marking, I'm going down by about 2 inches or 1.5 inches, but make sure you don't go down too deep on this back neckline, and every other side is the same. So onto the skirt part, I'll bring in my front pattern, and I'll make a mark. Instead of measuring it one more time, I just made a mark where my waist measurement ends. And then placing my tape at my half length, you can see where I place my tape. I'm going to go ahead and mark the remaining part of my measurement, and for the length of mine is 30 inches. So once I am done with that, I'm going to go ahead and mark where I want my slant to end. And for this, I am marking at 8 inches. If you look at the style, you understand what I am trying to say. So I'll measure what I have here, and I'll transfer the measurement to where I marked the 8 inches. And then I'll connect these 2 points. Once I am done with this, I'm going to go ahead and extend the line, the point at this 8 inches. And at that place, I am going out by 3.5 inches. I'll make a point there. And then from my waistline, I'm going to slant this to meet the 3.5 inches that I marked. Then from that 8 inches, I'll mark the line straight to meet the hem area of the skirt. Then I'll go ahead and cut this out. And then for the back bodies, all you have to do is to add your zipper allowance, and then you add every other allowance while transferring it to your fabric. So this is it after I was done, and I've transferred everything to my fabric, and I added 1/2 inch all around except for the seam side that I added 1.5 inches. I am sorry that I didn't show that part. I lost the clip. So what I'm doing is just to hold in the neckline, and then I'll go ahead and stitch it by 1/2 inch. And then I'll do the same thing for the back neckline. I'll hold it down and then stitch it down by 1/2 inch. So this is it after it was done. I'm just making notches around the neckline where necessary before I'll go ahead and turn it to the right side. Then go ahead and iron this down if you have light at this moment. So this is my after I was done ironing it. You can see that it's laying flatter than you saw it earlier. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to do front facing front for the neckline, so that we'll work on the shoulder. Once I am done arranging this, I'll pick up one side of the shoulder and then I'll open it up. You can see the way I opened it up, and I'll make sure that the two seam neckline is matching each other. I'll go ahead and pin that place first, and then I'll start pinning every other side of the shoulder, so that I'll keep it in place before going to my sewing machine to stitch it down. You can as well do the stitching without pinning if that's what works for you. So I'll pin it this side down, and then I'll pin this other side down. And you know that whatever I do to this shoulder, sorry, I'll be doing to the other shoulder as well. So once I am done pinning this down, I'll go ahead and stitch it down by 1/2 inch. So this is the sleeve. The pattern for the sleeve on the gown, my fabric is not enough to cut it, so I just cut out the normal sleeve pattern, but I just made it bigger than the normal sleeve measurement. So I'll go ahead and fold it, and whatever you are folding, make sure it's enough to pass your elastic to it. So this is it after I was done, and also I am done with the shoulder area. When you look at it, you can see that the two shoulder area is well tucked in and neat. And this is my sleeve. I've added the elastic to it as well. And to add the elastic, all you have to do is your round sleeve and minus about 1/2 inch or 1 inch, depending on how tight you want it. But me, I just took out 1/2 inch. So I'll bring in my sleeve and I'll place it from the beginning of the armhole. I'll pin this down, making sure that I have the two pieces together. That's my lining and the main fabric. And once I pin that down, I'll start stitching, and at this place I'll make a little plate, and then I'll do the same thing for the other armhole, other side of the armhole. By the time you get to the shoulder area, you will see that you have a lot of excesses there. All you have to do is to plait it into the shoulder area and then stitch it down all the way. So this is it after I was done. You can see that the shoulder area has more allowance, and while you wear it, you're going to just pull it inward, and it will give you that same effect of what we saw on the style. Once I am done with this, I'll bring in my skirt part, and I'll work on the front skirt first. I'll go ahead and do front facing front. You can still use the same pattern for adults. All you have to do is to add your darts and also your neckline. Make sure you are working with what will be okay for your neckline. So I'll pin this down, and then I'll go ahead and stitch it all the way from one end to the other. And I'll do the same thing for the back bodice as well. I'll bring in my back skirt, making sure that the back, whatever I am placing, my zipper allowance is facing the bodice zipper allowance. You don't make the mistake of turning it to the other side. I'll go ahead and stitch it down, and I'll do the same thing for the other side. So this is what we have after I am done with with attaching the bodies. And I made a little belt for it from the small fabric that was remaining. I was running out of fabric, so I'm going to go ahead and stitch this down. You see the way I placed it? Just immediately after the waistline. In fact, it should be meeting, it should match that waistline where you have the bodice and the skirt where you joined it. So I'll go ahead and stitch those at that area, and then I'll turn it to the right side when I am done stitching the belt. And then I'll open up my back body, stitching from my armhole all the way to the hem, and I'll do the same thing for this other side. Once I am done, I'll go ahead and hem this fabric all around, or this gown all around. So this is it after I was done. You can see that it's coming together. You can go ahead and iron it at this point. You can see our belt is sitting pretty on the gown, and you can see the fret of that slanted thing we did at the skirt part. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to close up the zipper allowance and then attach my zipper. So once I was done and I didn't have trimming, okay, see what I was talking about, the sleeve, just pull it in when the child wear it and it will give you that same effect, even though it's not the same pattern to cut out that sleeve. So once I was done with I didn't have trimming, what I was saying, to design it, so I just made something else for it. So I made this flower, rose flower or petals, whichever, for it. I'm just trying to look for a way to place it. In fact, I don't know. In fact, after placing it, I felt the star is still looking plain, but I'll still find a way to design it more. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you do. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you for watching.